There are millions of boys and girls who are young, gifted, and black.
I'm young, gifted, and black.
And that's a fact.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
Hey there, I'm Jared Hill, president of the National Association of Black Journalists of Los Angeles, and I just want to say thank you for the benevolent $10,000 donation and scholarships for the next generation of black journalists.
And I'm Haywood Galbraith, photojournalist and founder of the Minority Photojournalism Institute. Thanks, KBLA, for your generous $10,000 scholarship gift to help us train the next generation of black photojournalists.
Congratulations to all the students who will benefit from the scholarship dollars raised at our Black History Month luncheon, honoring black legends in LA media. When we come forward at KBLA Talk 1580, we're bringing everybody with us. Everybody with us. Everybody with us. Everybody with us.
You ready?
Come on. It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Rob Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Can I talk to you for a minute? Look. All I did was look. Why you tripping? Look. Check this out. Check it. Baby, look. I'm tired of trying to convince you that I ain't caught up lying. When she walked past me, I looked, so what? Big deal. I don't understand how that can make you feel that my love ain't for real, baby. The Lord above, but you're with me. You're with me. Tell me why would I throw that away? Why would I throw that away?
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I am your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. That is a jam right there. Oh, that's a throwback. I like, you can never sleep on Andy. Andy's always bringing in the jams, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. Listen, if you do want to call in and join in on the conversation at any point today, you can feel free to do that by calling 1-800-920-1580. You could always join us live right now on our live stream on YouTube at KBLA 1580. While you are there on the internet, feel free to follow all of our social media platforms at KBLA 1580, as well as me, Robin Ayers. Ayers. You can feel free to do that, and I am always talking back and welcoming you to join me. Listen, I'd like to know, first of all, if I sound a little sneezy, don't judge, all right? It is springtime, and in LA, we are feeling it pretty badly. I know I am. I've been sneezing all day. I forgot to take my Claritin or some form of medication. So bear with me as I'm, kind of getting over that today. But I want to know, did any of you watch the Kings versus Warriors game last night? Andy, did you watch it? Yeah, okay. He saw what was up. I got to know from you. You got to let me know. Of course, the big talk was whether Draymond Green, we know that he was ejected from the game for stomping on Domantas Sabonis' chest. And it was during the game. He was ejected from the game. But the question is really if he should be, if there should be any further suspension. It's looking unlikely, they say, sources say. But I want to know if you guys did watch the game, because it was pretty bad. I don't know. I got to know what you think. Let me know if you think that he should face any further suspension from the games, maybe like one more game or so. And today I've got a wonderful contributor who you all know and love, Jill Monroe, who's going to be joining us in just a little while. She's a sports girl. I'm going to get her take on this because, she knows what's up in the games, but I'm sure she's seen worse as well. So we're going to get her take on that. But I want to ask you, and I'm sure I'll go ahead and put that in the polls as well. If you did watch the Warriors versus Kings game last night, do you believe that Draymond Green should face any other suspension outside of being ejected from the game last night? That's my question of the day. Right now, we are going to go ahead and get into this Raw report. Andy, let's go.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Moneybag Yo, he opens up a restaurant. And let me tell you why. We will break down why he is being called out and he's being roasted for opening up this restaurant. Well, it's what's going down in the restaurant that people have things that they want to voice their opinions on. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about why Pusha T's wife is in the news. This woman is so unproblematic. She's never in the news, but she is today. She's definitely in headlines because people are a little divided on something that she said pertaining to looking like a rapper's wife. Pusha T, as you know, is a rapper, and she is his longtime spouse. She was his girlfriend for many, many years, and now they're married with a child. And she's getting some pushback on some of the things that she said. We'll get into that as well. Marcus Houston, you know, we were talking about Marcus not that long ago, and here we are talking about him again. And we're going to play a video for you so that you'll know exactly what we're breaking down and why. But here he is again. He's talking about his wife, and he's talking about other women that were a red flag for him. You know, when we start talking about red flags, people get upset. People get highly upset about that. So we'll break that down. Jonathan Majors, yet again, is in the news. I just feel so bad. We're not even half of the year into it, and Jonathan Majors is already feeling some heat for choices, decisions that he's made. And we'll talk about now what's going on with Jonathan Majors as everything continues to unfold with him. We're also going to talk about Princess Tiana, the role of Princess Tiana in The Princess and the Frog. You guys know that all these remakes are coming out and all these people are vying for the roles in these different remakes. And so we know Mermaid is coming out. We know that Peter Pan, and Wendy, that's going to come out as well. So Princess and the Frog, we'll talk about who is trying to get that role. We're going to do that and much more. We're going to break it down all on the other side. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at The Raw Report. Keep it locked.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Los Angeles Urban League and Parkside Economic Development Corporation are working to close the wealth gap between black and white households. B-Warp, the Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program's free virtual workshops will help your family acquire, gain, maintain, and pass down legacy wealth. Learn from the experts about making more with what you have, the Black History of Money, joining the Smart Investors Club, preserving your assets in tough times, crypto, cash in or cash out, the wealthy mind and body. Register for this free series that could change your financial future at laul.org/BWAARP. Don't miss B-Warp, the Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program, every second and fourth Thursday in February, March, and April at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Register now at laul.org/BWAARP.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Spilled your milkshake? Quick, the quicker picker upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading Ordinary brand. So you can get back to your milkshake.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Bounty, the quicker picker upper.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm already loving you guys on the Facebook, or excuse me, the YouTube chat. Always a great time there chatting with you guys. I'll do my very, very best to stay abreast on all of the different comments that you're making. I will definitely try. But for right now, let's go ahead and get our entertainment contributor in for the day. Someone who I know and love, and I know you guys all do too. Please welcome Jill Monroe, who is a wonderful contributor. She's a wonderful writer and journalist and all these fine things. Jill, how are you today?
Hi, Robin. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Back on the Rob Report and excited.
Yes, I'm always excited to have you here, Jill, and I'm no stranger to that. And the other people who are always commenting love when you're on the show as well. So thank you for joining me here. Let me get your take. Before we get into all the topics, briefly give me your thoughts on Draymond Green. Should he face further suspension from last night? I know he was ejected from the game, but what are your thoughts on that?
It's the playoffs, man. Move on. Sabonis was holding on to his ankle. Draymond did a little extra with the step and the 2 clicks in the heels like he was Lucky Charms. But move on. It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
We like that type of intensity. Sacramento's been missing from the playoffs for like 20 years. Let's roll.
Okay. Did you feel like Sabonis was doing the most when he was, hurled over? Not to say, listen, that was a fact. He was stepped on. That's a fact. But was he doing the most when he was hurled over in pain? What do you think?
He was absolutely selling it a little bit. Come on. I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't hurt. His chest was stepped on, but he gave a little extra for the rest. That's what you do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? 75% of people right now in the chat are disagreeing. They say that he should be suspended for stepping on his chest, whereas 25% say nah. They feel like you do. But we'll go ahead and keep that poll up just a little bit longer. Let you guys chime in on that. But I hear your point, Jill. I'm definitely feeling you on that. Let's go ahead and jump into this Moneybag Yo story. You know what? We were just talking about on the Rob Report how people should diversify, right? Like these celebrities and people who have money, it really is about diversifying your career, your portfolio. And here Moneybag Yo is. He opens up a restaurant called Cache 42 Kitchen and Cocktails in Memphis, where he's from. And he did that at the end of March, and already people are clowning him. They are roasting him for these $135 40-ounce prime tomahawk steaks. Okay, what is going on? Are people just doing too much by complaining about these prices, or have you? I'm sure you've eaten. You eat good. Pardon the way I say it, but you eat good too.
Do.
Yeah.
I like an amazing meal. I think that this is part of the problem. Well, not the problem, but the interesting paradox about giving back to your community and opening things up. We always say we want to bring a different type of environment, sometimes to the hood or to environments where we shouldn't have to go out far, to have a nice meal, luxury, and things like that. But that also comes with a bit of service and prices that come along with that. So sometimes I think that there is a balance. Him opening up a restaurant, maybe the location that he chose, $125 steak may not be practical for that area. So I don't think that the pricing is wrong per se, but maybe it's wrong for the environment that they're in.
Okay, so and that's true. We don't know exactly where in Memphis he opened up this restaurant, what little town or whatever. But I think it does say something about the fact that when your own people come for you, you know, they should be, even if they can't afford it, they shouldn't be knocking you down for the prices. They should be rooting you on, saying, listen, even if I can't afford to eat there right now, go ahead and get your money bag, yo. You know what I'm saying? Instead of knocking him down, because Jill, all on Twitter, these people are coming at him. You've got someone who says the price ain't the issue. It's what's the quality of the food that I'm going to pay if Moneybag Yo is cooking a $135 steak. Someone else says Moneybag wants a $100 for a steak. I'll pay that, but he better come out and rap. I mean, people, some clever things people are saying.
See, that's not fair. I mean, and that's the kind of the thing is you don't complain if you go to a steakhouse. If you go to, for example, Morton's in Beverly Hills here, no one's like, I shouldn't have to pay that much for a steak. But because you have a different type of association with the rapper and they're trying to do something good, I think it's that kind of weird gray area. So I'm not mad at him for his prices. He just maybe should have considered the area and maybe, you know, the fans that don't like it, always McDonald's, Wendy's, I don't know.
That's true. It almost makes me wonder if people who are in the public eye, such as rappers, should keep that quiet. Should they operate on the back end and be sort of a silent investor or something like that when it comes to fine dining and things like that, because they are pretty much going to face pushback wherever they go from their own community. So what do you think about that idea?
I mean, I think for some it can work, but there's also the paradox that their name will bring people to the establishment.
Yeah.
It is automatically a form of promotion. So I think it's a catch-22. Maybe depends. Partnerships are good. I just think that we got to let people evolve and do different things.
That's true. 2 Chainz was also he did a very, very popular thing in opening up a restaurant, and it's still doing very well, actually. But I'm not mad at that. And I will say this about Moneybag Yo. People are focusing on the $135 tomahawk steak, but his prices are actually pretty decent for what you're going to get. You got $68 surf and turf. You got $55 Cajun New York strip and steak and shrimp. And everything else on the menu looks really good, and it seems reasonable. I think that they should let off of him and go support him when you can. Maybe that's just a special occasion type of restaurant where you want to dress up nicely with your friends or go out on a date or something like that. It doesn't seem like it's a daily type of thing. So maybe they should just fall back and go when they can't afford it. Does that sound good?
Exactly.
All right.
I agree.
Yeah, okay, cool. We're going to leave it right there. Pusha T. Pusha T's wife. I love Pusha T, actually. He doesn't get enough recognition, but this is also a rapper that we're talking about. His wife, Virginia, who goes by Jenny, she's under fire right now for saying that someone asked her what were the hardships of being married or with a rapper, and she said at one point she felt like she was the oddball in the room because she didn't look like, quote unquote, a rapper's girlfriend or wife. And she went on to say that she didn't have the fake body or the cake face with all the makeup and all that stuff. And the comments were divided, Jill. Some women were saying she didn't say anything wrong. Other women were saying she didn't have to put other women down in order to make her point. This is a woman who is naturally gorgeous, but she is the typical around the way girl from, back in the day, what that looked like. And so where do you stand on that? Can you see her point of view? Could she have said that a different way to still make her point?
So I'm going to both sides it because I do see both sides. I understand that there's a prototype and archetype that we think about as far as rappers. We think of BBLs, the Black Chynas, the Amber Roses, the Jada Waitas, and so forth. And they usually have cosmetic enhancements, a beat face, and, a weave down to the butt. That's the look. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that. But, there is another way that you can look and approach it, and she's certainly that. I think the reason why some are upset is because it did sound like, and again, we understand her perspective, that she was throwing shade to these women that choose to have that look. And I think the idea is that we should appreciate all beauty standards. And while she may have felt awkward coming into the room with the BBLs and the makeup girls, the thing is she might have been encouraging another young lady that might be dating an up-and-coming rapper or whatever the case may be. We don't have to get into that part of it, but just to be herself. And I think that you can be yourself in a face full of makeup standing next to somebody natural, or be the natural girl standing next to the glammed up girl. And it's just a personal preference. And nobody should be throwing shade at anyone as far as those terms go, because, you know, it's just a choice.
Yeah, you're right. These are some of the comments that were left under her post. They said, there really is a way to speak positively about yourself, even addressing insecurities without being degrading to other women. Someone else says, how is she insecure? She spoke her truth. And a lot of women feel the same being natural amongst created players. I agree with that. There is nothing that she said that was wrong, in my opinion. How else do you say, listen, I'm in a room full of other women who have this type of look? Not that she's knocking that. She says she felt like she was the oddball out. I don't think there's anything wrong with how she stated it. Everything that you said, though, I agree with. But I do want to know from you, Jill, is that the new trend, the old school way, the wholesome look, is that coming back?
I think everything goes into phases, and just like, you know, everyone went really big with enhancements and BBLs, and we're lips and we're fillers and we're injections and all of that. And we see a lot of people are now reversing those things. So you never know. I think the glam aspect is always going to be there when it comes to rap, because that's a part of the imagery that we associate with rap. But I think there's room for all types, and I think there always kind of has been.
Yeah,
Just
I agree.
The popular ones on social media happen to be in one type of frame.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm rooting for the wholesome look to come back, because I find myself pretty much in the middle. Sometimes I'm really regular schmegular. Other times I, do it up a little bit, but I'm more wholesome than I'm not, right? So I'm hoping that look comes back, and I'm pretty sure that it will. I want to get your input on, let's move on and talk about the Princess and the Frog remake that's coming out. And all these different singers are vying for this position. Coco Jones being one, Ari Lennox being another, and our new favorite, Samara Joy. She is also putting in her bid for this role. In your opinion, number one, I don't know if age-wise this makes any difference. I think all of these women are pretty much in the same age range or can play it. I don't know if that makes a difference at all. But what's your opinion on, do you have a favorite for who would play this role out of the three? Or do you see someone else as playing this role?
I don't have a favorite. I just want it to be amazing. I'm going to support it no matter who's in the role. And I'm just looking forward to it because, we like to see reflections of ourselves on screen in different types of roles. And this, unlike the Little Mermaids or the complaints that we've been hearing about, is a role that was specifically created for a Black woman. So
yes,
that will be nice.
I'm so glad that you said we like to see reflections of ourselves. That is true. But what happens if they put someone completely different, like an Ella May or someone like that, into this role who is a light-skinned Black woman? And all three of these women who I mentioned right now are dark brown skinned, beautiful women who can all do amazing at this role, I feel. But what happens? Do we push back if they cast her as a light skinned Black woman?
So as I think I'm brown skinned. Some people may think I'm light skinned. Black woman.
You light skinned, Jill. You light skinned.
I'm brown.
Okay.
I'm brown. I like to think that I'm brown.
Okay.
Little caramel,
Own it,
little
girl.
coffee.
Own it. There you go.
So this is the thing. As I said, I think that all reflections of Blackness are okay to be seen. I do understand why there would be some pushback, because this character was drawn as a beautiful, really brown-skinned woman, and we want to see that on screen. But she's also from New Orleans, and there's Creoles. And so I think there's such a spectrum of blackness that I'm okay with it, but I understand why the preference is for a dark-skinned or really brown-skinned black woman. And so I understand that those should be first, and I have no problem with that.
Okay, and thank you for mentioning that. Do you have an opinion one way or the other on the new Lilo and Stitch remake that's coming out? And you heard that they're doing this casting, and their Twitter users are having a meltdown, literally, about the skin shade of who they cast to be Nani as one of the characters. And even though she has a Polynesian culture authentically, people are still very upset at the shade, at the tone of her skin. And that really means something, I guess, these days. Do you have a thought one way or the other about that?
Just because the reason, like, I understand it and I respect it. I'm going to mind my black business. This is the thing. I know when people sometimes look at our conversations in the black community and may not understand why we feel that way or why we take those positions. So I am going to, if there is an overwhelming, vote from the Hawaiian community that they feel like this character, because Lilo was brown in the movie, should be, not Lilo. Yeah, Lilo was brown in the movie, should take that tone again, then I don't know. Disney has to address it. But is it is it reanimated, or is it a live action one?
It's a live action from what I understand.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to say I hope that they are really happy. If she has Polynesian, I do think we're at a point, and again, I may not be the best person to pass this message along since I am considered light-skinned, but I do think sometimes that we have to remember, I know for black people, we are a spectrum, and I understand that there was an over-favoring of light skin and that that has put people in an uncomfortable position, but we still are a race that comes in many different shades. And I kind of don't like when we start excluding others, making them feel how brown-skinned women have felt for so long. I don't think that that's the solution either.
Yeah, that's well said. I do hear you on that. And just to be clear, it's the newcomer. I cannot pronounce his first name. Cook. I can't pronounce it. Machado is his last name. He's going to be playing David, and he's also a lighter-skinned man. And so people are having all kinds of things to say about that. I take your point on it, Jill, and I agree with you. I'm gonna mind my business on this one. But listen, when we come forward, we are going to break down the rest of these topics. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports. Please stay with us on the other side. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Lil Rel Howery. Right now, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. That's right. The Robin Report.
More of The Robin Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In New York City, at least one person is dead and 5 others are injured after a parking garage collapsed in Lower Manhattan. Officials say the 5-story building on Ann and Nassau Streets is structurally unsound. Here's NYPD Commissioner Keishant Sewell.
At this time, we have no reason to believe that this is anything other than a structural collapse. Obviously, that investigation will continue.
Mayor Eric Adams was on the scene as crews used robotics to get a better grasp on the scene.
We were also able to use the technology of a drone to give a real visualization of what is happening in this building. At this time, this building is completely unstable.
The IRS says a big backlog of paper tax returns has been cleared. A backlog of 23.5 million individual and business tax returns piled up by February of last year after the pandemic caused filing delays and staffing shortages. I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
In Commerce on the 710 southbound of Washington Boulevard, got a disabled vehicle trying to make its way to the right shoulder. It's already a heavy ride coming away from the 60. South El Monte, 605 south, right at the 60. Had a crash in the lanes. They're trying to get that to the right shoulder. And if you're heading southbound 60, it's going to be a slow ride all the way down to the 5. And on the 105 eastbound at Long Beach Boulevard, another disabled vehicle on the shoulder.
When you think Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal with your choice of JBC, double stack or crispy
crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. Biggie hits every time. So grab a Biggie bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers have a 1-0 lead on Phoenix, but the Suns are 7.5-point favorites in Game 2 tonight. Folks in Vegas are expecting the Suns to even the series. Tip-off at 7 tonight on TNT. Game 3 of the best-of-7 series is Thursday night at Crypto.com. Buffalo Bills defensive back DeMar Hamlin has been fully cleared to play football again and begin workouts with the team. Hamlin has been recovering from a near-fatal cardiac arrest he suffered during Buffalo's game in Cincinnati on January 2nd. He's participating now in voluntary workouts with the Bills this week. The Dodgers, who won 111 games last season, have fallen below 500 for the first time in 5 years. The Dodgers are 8-9. They'll try to get even in tonight's game against the Mets. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tell me I'm the boy that girl. You are young, gifted, and black.
I'm young, gifted, and black.
And that's a fact.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
Hey there, I'm Jared Hill, president of the National Association of Black Journalists of Los Angeles, and I just want to say thank you for the benevolent $10,000 donation and scholarships for the next generation of black journalists.
And I'm Haywood Galbraith, photojournalist and founder of the Minority Photojournalism Institute. Thanks, KBLA, for your generous $10,000 scholarship gift to help us train the next generation of black photojournalists.
Congratulations to all the students who will benefit from the scholarship dollars raised at our Black History Month luncheon honoring black legends in LA media. When we come forward at KBLA Talk 1580, we're bringing everybody with us. Everybody with us. Everybody with us.
Our Weekly Los Angeles is the largest audited black newspaper in the state of California with a distribution of over 50,000 copies weekly. Pick up a copy every Thursday to get the latest news on African American communities of LA. You can also keep up with what's going on in Los Angeles and surrounding cities by going to www.ourweekly.com. The Our Weekly website is updated daily with the current news about us and for us. For your advertising needs, Our Weekly offers economical advertising packages to fit your budget. Feel free to call Our Weekly Los Angeles at 323-905-1300 or visit the website at www.ourweekly.com. Our Weekly Los Angeles, reporting news that matters to you.
Thanks to our new sponsor, Lendistry. Lendistry is a national black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los Angeles. Lendistry helps small business owners access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lendistry, LENDISTRY.com/KBLA today.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition, and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yup. If one more label try to stop me, it's gonna be some dreadhead in your lobby. You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Just another day at the pick up on the mail. They gon' channel riding through the streets, they be like they go. You don't want no problem
The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, and happy birthday to Chance the Rapper. Listen, let's go ahead and get our contributor, Jill Monroe, back in here. We gotta talk about this for a quick second. You know, we were just talking about, if you're just joining us, we talked about Moneybagg Yo and his restaurant and why he's catching heat for a $135 tomahawk steak that's on the menu. We talked about Pusha T's wife, Jenny, who is catching some backlash because she says she doesn't look like the typical rapper's wife, where everyone else may have fake bodies and a face full of makeup. That's not really her stilo. We also talked about Princess Tiana and the Frog and who we want to get that role. We really don't have a fight in the game. It's basically like, listen, if Coco, Ari Lennox, or Samara Joy get that role, I think we're winning all around. But Jill, I wanted to get your. I'm throwing this curve ball at you, but I want to get your stance on this. I have a poll up right now on YouTube asking about Chance the Rapper, who is in Jamaica celebrating. He's celebrating his birthday at Carnival in Jamaica. And there's a clip. It's probably 5 to 10 seconds of him dancing.
I saw it. He was lit.
I know you saw it. I know you had to see it. So the girl is literally twerking on him, backing it up on him. And there is a moment where he actually smacks her on the backside. Now, people are wondering, because he's not wearing his ring. People are wondering, is he cheating on his wife? Is he done with his wife? Are they separated, divorced? If he is still, in fact, married, is Chance the Rapper wrong that he was dancing with this girl like that?
So I do not get in between what is appropriate for people in their married lives, because I feel like that's a decision that you make with your significant other, right? I think that at Carnival, that's the environment and it's loose and you turn up. But if that is outside of the bounds of what his wife would consider respectable, then he should not be doing it. But that's a conversation they would have. I assume since the camera was right there, he knew what was going on and everybody was okay with it. So I'm going to say it's okay.
You're going to say, okay, ultimately that's where you stand, that it's okay, because you don't know what's going on between the conversation with him and his wife.
Here's the thing. If his wife, if you are a person and you view, in our relationship, hey, that dancing on someone suggestively, lasciviously, I don't care what the occasion is out the door, then it's out the door. But if, some people are a little more carefree, a little more lax in their environment, and it might do with, their trust of the person, how they have fun, I think it's a very personal choice. I am not going to speak for his wife. I would say since the camera was right there and he knew it, that it must be okay.
It must be okay. Well, Pretty Brown Mimi does not agree. She says, yes, Chance the Rapper was wrong. Did he forget that he's married? Well, here's where I stand on the situation. Being a married woman, listen, if you want to go and have fun, go ahead and let the girl twerk on you. That's just where I stand on the situation. I'm not necessarily going to fault him for what he's doing. I know how it comes up. Andy's giving me props for that decision. That's my perspective. I'm free like that. I'm very free and fun like that. It doesn't hurt anyone. It's Carnival. He's celebrating his birthday. Go and have a great time. Now, I do understand the optics. Optics are really important when you are a public person, which Chance the Rapper is. And so it does kind of matter. It's going to turn into this big thing. And as the wife, whether she agreed to that or not, it's probably not looking forward to having all of these people tweet her, at her. It's making headlines. It's all in the news. She's probably not happy with that. But you're right, Jill. We do not know the conversations that they have behind closed doors. And I know that plenty of people are going to think like Mimi and say, no, that's absolutely not right. I'm just telling you where I stand.
I agree with you.
And Sierra. Oh, man, that's another huge one right there. And you know what? To piggyback on what Andy just mentioned regarding Russell and Sierra, I know we're going all off topic here, but this is on topic at the same time. Everybody has something to say about Sierra. Everyone has something to say about Sierra's dress that she wore at the Vanity Fair party. how she dresses in general, how she dances in general, not giving credit to the fact that she was already like that before she married Russell Wilson. But here's the thing. It shut everybody up finally when she got with him to ask his opinion on it. She said, can a woman be independent and still married? He said, absolutely. So everyone has, again, optics. Everyone is going to have something to say until you find out what's really being said between the couple behind closed doors.
Right. 100%. And, Chance, turn up for the birthday.
Yeah, turn up one time for the birthday, one time. Go ahead, Chance. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into, listen, I have a video that I want to play about Marcus Houston so that there is no debating what the man said. Let's go ahead and listen to what he talked about when he said what his red flags are when it comes to dating a woman or choosing a wife. Let's go ahead and play that.
I was talking to one of my friends, and I was saying, yeah, okay, I'm 41, right? She's 22. I could have married a 41-year-old woman, and it could have been disastrous. They could have felt like, because I'll sit and talk to women, and women that are my age, and they kind of have a different outlook on life. A lot of women my age are very independent. They are very like, I don't need a man to do this for me because I could do this for myself. And I come from a generation that I'm very, very, love to provide for my wife. I love to provide for my woman. And I'm very in that generation, like the old days, I would never want to be with a woman that felt like, oh, I don't need you, or I don't, what I'm saying, like that. So, and there's a lot of women my age. I've dated women my age, and, they may have baggage, they may have kids, they may have not, it's just, there's so many different women that I've dated throughout my life. And this just so happened to be the one that caught my heart.
So what was your red flags, like when you dating through all through how I know you probably met like some of the most beautiful women in the world. What was some like red flags like, nope, you're out. Nope, like a red flag is like, I'm done. Next.
Listen
red
to
flag
this.
for me always if a woman had a kid. Nothing against single women, single mothers with children. I respect them. I love them. I feel like that's one of the toughest jobs, to raise a child and to also raise a child by yourself and to be a woman. 100% tip my hat, respect to the women that are raising children on their own. But just with me, for when I grew up, I never really wanted kids. And, I would talk to my dad a lot, and he would always tell me, look, have your own kids, because you never want to have, you don't know what the baby daddy's about. So, if you're going to have kids, make sure as a woman that they never had kids before, you can have your own. So I kind of like stuck to that. So that was always my red flag. But then that's a personal choice.
Right.
That was my personal red flag. And a woman with an attitude. Like just,
all right.
I don't like.
Ooh, okay. Marcus Houston. Okay. He caught heat for that, saying that ultimately a woman with kids, basically a single woman with kids, and women with attitudes are red flags for him. Jill, just sound off. Where do you stand on this?
Marcus Houston, Batman, immature. So what I'm going to say this is he sounds like a stereotypical black man from the 90s, Gen Xer. I think he's still in that Gen X category. But I ask, Marcus, do you think that you were void of certain baggage and issues? I mean, you weren't immature. We've seen some of the photos. We won't get into the conversation. I just think that him saying that, it sounds as if, perhaps I'm wrong and misinformed, but it sounds as if someone who thinks that they deserve a fresh slate of someone easier to manipulate when they start talking about experience being a red flag, because he has a lot of baggage that comes with him too. Do you know what I'm saying? And considering his bride, they met. I'm not going to say they were involved, but they at least met when she was under the age of 18. Hey.
Okay.
Some could have some issue with that. I don't know. I just think everyone's entitled to their personal preference, but the way that he framed that up is not so great, because he is not without baggage, and it sounds like a manipulation tactic.
Okay.
So,
There are many people who think just like you and who commented the same way when I was reading the comments. But listen, we have two men who are here shaking their head, profusely. Zoe Williams is in the building. Andy is in the building. I want to hear just give me a brief overview of what you think, Andy, on this, or Zoe, somebody jump on the mic and give your input.
I just feel like a man can't share his red flags without it being seen like I'm manipulating the woman. These are just my red flags, but I'm not trying to manipulate the woman at the end of the day.
So you're saying that there's nothing wrong with what he said. It's how he said it. Zoe, give me 10, 15, give me 20 seconds of what you think. Zoe.
Her explanation just sounded like a stretch. It just sounded far-fetched. I mean, like Andy said, he was just articulating his red flags, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay.
To call him a manipulator, an emotional abuser, just going too far. Just going too far.
So my
I
question,
didn't say emotional abuser. Please don't put anything
right,
in my mouth.
She did not say that.
He is manipulative.
She did not say that. And I can say that that is actually a very widely shared opinion, that it sounds manipulative, that to get a woman who was 17 years old when you met her, you married her at 19, sounds like, okay, I wanted this type of woman because she didn't come with the baggage. She didn't come with all the emotional baggage as well as children or anything like that. In addition to that.
And wasn't old enough to remember immature and the things that were rumored about them. Anyway.
Okay. Woo! That's a hot topic for sure. Okay, listen. The question that I had regarding this is exactly what Zoe was referring to. Is there, and Andy, is it okay for them to feel this way? And should he have said it a different way to get his point across? Or is it just the wrong perspective? Because I'll say this. It's not a woman's fault all the time that she comes with extra baggage, meaning children, that she's a single woman. That's not her fault all the time. So if that's immediately a red flag, in my opinion, that's a wrong perspective. I think that's just a wrong perspective. That's a wrong outlook. You already saying it's a red flag. Not even I'm going to give her a chance and see, maybe, I had doubts about it at first, but maybe I'll give her a chance and see perhaps why this could be a red flag. No, just immediately that's a red flag. I think that's the wrong perspective.
Just because it's a red flag doesn't mean that we don't give it a chance. We just have our spidey senses up. That's all.
I hear you, and that sounds good. That's not what the man, Mr. Houston, said.
And if Marcus Houston was not married to this young woman, and he still said that, would it be an issue? Like if he was single and he said that.
Yeah. Jill, final word, Jill.
You are allowed to select anyone that you want as a mate and put up whatever boundaries and barriers because it's a personal choice. Perhaps he should have articulated it a different way, but it says a lot about his mindset, in my opinion.
I tend to agree with what Jill said. I'm sorry, fellas. I hear you. It's not necessarily, I don't know. I've got to put that in the right way. I don't like his perspective on this, but I do think that what he actually feels could have been said better to be received better. But I do think there's something wrong with his perspective in the matter, because you just can't knock a single woman. You just can't knock it. And it's not necessarily a red flag. She could be a widow. It could be all kinds of things. But listen, Jill, we got to let you go until next time. Always a pleasure to have you here. Please let everybody know where they can find you online.
You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. Always a pleasure to pop in on the Rob Report. And I will be here every day listening until it is my time to return.
Well, definitely thank you. Appreciate you so much. And we'll see you next week as well.
Thanks, Robin.
When we come forward, we've got Who's Got Next. So I have a good one for you today. You're going to love it. And we've got What I Don't Want You to Miss. Stay tuned on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Rob Report.
You're inside the Rob Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
15 million California Medi-Cal enrollees to have eligibility status reviewed starting this month. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by Lendistry, story courtesy of CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Pay attention to your Medi-Cal notices in the mail. As of April 2023, California has 14 months to review the eligibility of 15 million Medi-Cal enrollees after suspending this process throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. An estimated 2 to 3 million Californians may leave the program during this unwinding unwinding period. It is critical that enrollees watch out for notifications from local Medi-Cal offices. If you receive a yellow envelope, that means contact information or pertinent information to keep your coverage is missing.
Thanks to our new sponsor, Lendistry. Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los Angeles. Lendistry helps small business owners access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lendistry, LENDISTRY.com/KBLA today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
I can't even begin to tell y'all how much of a hot topic this is. Something that we should probably talk about furthermore tomorrow maybe. Right now, we are going to go ahead and get into who's got next. This gentleman here, Jay Mitch, sent me a song that just had me feeling all kind of ways. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. He is a songwriter, composer. He is a producer and a performer. And he believes that dreams become a reality when you wake up. Let's go ahead and get to Jay Mitch.
I'll never give up on you. Only you can pull me through. You can pull me through. All I know is I can't make it without you, Lord. I'll never give up on you. Hey, only you can pull me through this. You can pull me through, Lord. Yeah, pull me through. Somebody told me what I'm going through. You're making me, God, you're making me. Why does the making have to hurt so bad? 'Cause it's tearing every part of me. Sometimes these burdens, they get so heavy, and I wanna let go, but I've come too far. Can't give up now. Woo! I will never give up on you. I'll never give up on you. You see, God, you've been with me. You're the only one that can pull me. You're the only one that can pull me. You're pulling me through. Hey, and I know that He will. He's pulling me. Only He can pull me. I know He can pull me. I know. 'Cause He's my provider, healer, my way maker. He will pull me. He's gonna pull me through. I know He can pull me. Only He can heal me. Only He can pull me through. And I'll never let go. And I'll never let go. I'll never let go. I know God will. He's gonna fix it, yeah. And He's gonna bring you through. Have you ever been broken? I said, have you ever been broken? In 1,000 pieces, yeah. But only He can put you back together, pull you through it, yeah. He's gonna pull us through.
Jay Mitch.
Stop worrying about it, y'all.
Yes, Jay Mitch.
God got it under control.
Yes. Okay, you guys are loving this. This is called Pull Me Through by J. Mitch. I mean, what an incredible song. Marcus says he's got chill bumps. He's got goosebumps. Mimi said he's a vibe. Penny Thompson says, love this song. Words matter. Absolutely. Brandy, definitely loving the song as well. J. Mitch, this is an incredible song. I do have goosebumps as well. When I first heard it, I was like, woo! Woo! Like, seriously, one of those. So definitely somebody you want to follow on social media so you can follow his journey. J. Mitch has definitely got next. I put him right here in the chat. It's at J. Mitch on social media. Go ahead and follow him, find him, and support him. He is definitely incredible. What I do not want you to miss. Listen, if you are here in LA, and I'm sorry, I try to find stuff for everybody, but right now we got LA. All right, so April 22nd, God's Trying to Tell You Something is playing. The play is at Wilshire Ebell Theater. Now, I am a fan of live action plays and musicals and things like that. This is something that you want to catch because we need more of it here, not just in LA, just in the genre itself. We need to support our people when our people are doing something incredible. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of nerve to create something and to see that vision through. So the people behind this production have put on God's Trying to Tell You Something. And I think that I know that it is worth going to see. Regardless of the outcome, regardless of how you think about it, just for the support alone. We always talk about that. We need to support our own, but let's go ahead and do it. April 22nd here at the Wilshire Ebell Theater. Go ahead and book yourself a flight and come to LA, because why not? Why not? Y'all can do that too. I'll also have a pretty cool what I don't want you to miss later on in the week. If you've been paying attention to my social media at all, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But right now, up next, the guy who was just in battle with me alongside Andy, you've got Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, coming up. You already know it is going to be a fire show. His topic for tonight is You Can't See Me. Andy did the John Cena. Who was the very first one? Who's the very first one? Flavor Flav. Then Tony Ayo. Okay, so all of them, but we're going to give Flavor Flav his credit. He did the You Can't See Me move. What are your relationship blind spots? How to see what you are not seeing. Ooh, hot like lava. Listen, it's been an incredible show. Thank you so much. And thank you to our contributor, Jill Monroe. Thank you for the hot topic conversation. I think that we'll probably end up talking about this again tomorrow. We'll see. I am your host, Robin Ayers. Always a pleasure to be with you. Remember, today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In New York